Background side. Anyway, what's going on, everybody?
Hi, I'm Bree.
I'm Ninja. Ninja Network is updating you guys with some weekly news. We didn't get to do our Wednesday or Saturday stream like we wanted
to do today. About it.
We talked about it. We told them that's going to be our new scheduled Wednesdays and Saturdays, but we might do and Sundays instead.
We'll just do it.
No, it has to be scheduled.
Oh, it people doesn't. Won't.
Anyways, so what we're talking about today, guys, first we're going to jump into the beefs in the streets. Me and Bree talked about before, the Spicy Summer escapades on Nicki Minaj, beefing with Travis over album sales and placement.
We talking Cardi and Nicki.
I said we were talking about the previous beefs, and now Nicki is
Team Cardi.
So everyone knows, right? Or maybe it's not. Everyone knows now
that Cardi is dominating.
I wasn't gonna say that. That there has been a beef or a rift between Nicki and Cardi ever since Cardi became big on the scene.
Everyone knew, but they denied.
Bodak Yellow, and Cardi was rising up the ranks and starting to show that she can be the next big female artist. Her and Nicki had their rifts, and it didn't really come out until Motorsport, right?
Is it really a rift?
Which she always does, right? Let's not lie. Nicki's had issues with previous female rappers that come into the spotlight. And I say, remember when I came out of jail?
People who came before her.
I say, yeah. Remember when she came out of jail and started getting hot again with All the Way Up and stuff? There was an issue. She's had an issue with Lil' Kim since the conception.
Basically, there's an issue with especially
Nicki likes to be number one. Yeah. She likes to be number one, and Cardi being from New York, I ain't how to be number one.
From New York too.
Most I guess number one rap chicks are from New York.
They're all from New York.
Because Cardi's from New York. That's where hip hop is very strong in New York. That's
she wants to be queen of hip
hop. I don't think.
But there can be multiple queens.
I suppose.
There's room for.
I remember a time, like I said, there were a lot of, say, the Missy's, Mary J. Blige,
like the 90s and early 2000s.
They worked together. They all made songs empowering each other. There was no females being each other's sons. All these are my sons. None of that. It was more, Queen Latifah stuff. Like, it was more collaborative versus the new age. Times have changed. See that, but Nicki, instead of embracing Cardi, she did the same thing. She did the death blow for whoever else was coming up. She pushed her to the side, and actually, some people say corporate blackball. Like, that's a lot of stories that actually went around about Nicki, is that Nicki actually corporately blackballs. Gets stuff like no radio plays or cancel shows, stuff like pretty bad stuff. And Cardi was too strong to let this happen, and it's been a problem ever since.
She's with.
It started with Motorsport. Motorsport, apparently, that's the first time that Nicki admitted that she felt bullied. Even though she's been the bullier, because she apparently had a whole other verse, right, that was dissing Cardi, and Cardi actually used her power to jump on the song, get Nicki to change her verse, and put her verse before Nicki's. Because she's using her power. And that was the first time Nicki had ever been in a position where she actually got out Fox. And it was a big issue. Behind the scenes, people knew about it, and they brought it to light, but they claimed when it all came out, it's like they claimed it was all good, everything's fine. Oh no, there was no disses.
And then Cardi dropped her album.
Motorsport came out Invasion probably came out in like March, April. Yeah. And everything was cool until it started, Nicki started dropping these singles. She trying to rev up for her album, then she ended up pushing her album back. And when it actually dropped, it started with the controversy with Travis Scott. No, sorry. Let me go back. The album has shots all throughout it. I listened to the album when me and Bree did our listen through. You can hear there's shots of somebody. I mean, she's doing the typical shots where, like all these females, my son stuff. But there's some shots that were straight at Cardi as far as like the writing, her not writing her songs.
Overall album.
As far as I've said, they said both albums as a male, they said I'm talking strictly off hip hop entertainment value. I definitely say that Cardi B a more entertaining album. It was entertaining. It was like there's some songs that they're just happy, they're fun. It was her first album.
I feel like it was just straight up just female.
It's different.
Hip-hop.
That's probably also what it was. Nicki has been releasing albums since, which has been doing it for 10 years. Honestly, this album, where it stacks up against the rest of her own albums, isn't. I would say maybe it's like her third best album.
Yeah, I would put it right above.
That's what I'm saying. I like Roman Reloaded a little bit, and not a lot of people even like that album.
I don't like Roman. Pink. Nothing can touch Pink Print. When it comes to Pink Print, best album. Every song on, which is kind of how I felt about Cardi's album this year too. But compared to Nicki's previous work, I don't think it was just the same level. So I think in this round, Cardi won. That's not knocking all the other success and music that Nicki has. It's just someone else is on a
very exact. That's pretty much it. And you can't keep shuttering down the waves just because I guess you fear your position in the industry. Because you 10 years. That is you and Drake both
just get over
have been going. Who else? It was Drake. Both of them are like hitting that 10-year mark. They've been literally successful in the game.
It's been Drake
years.
and Nicki for a while, but now you have a lot of new talent up in this competition, and
Drake embraces he embraces the new. He's a wave rider. He sees the wave and he rides it. Nicki sees the wave and she crashes it, and that's kind of weird. Like, she should have been making a whole album with Cardi B or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? They should have been riding together. Like, it would have been exactly. Look at her face.
That would be amazing.
It would have been a lit. It would have been a lit idea. But instead,
with like
now after all this bubbling up and like I said, the shots, it's actually boiled down to a physical. This week a couple days ago was the.
Cardi, it was New York Fashion Week, but Cardi has been sensitive about the fact we heard her at the VMAs. Everyone's been telling her that like she won't be successful after she has this baby holding her. She expressed that when she won her award at the VMAs. Like, I'm still here, my baby's not holding me back, still winning awards, still making music. Let's go. And so she goes to New York Fashion Week, and apparently liked a tweet about her baby.
Nicki interacts with her fans heavily on Twitter. Everybody knows that. She posts it all the time. She looks at their tweets because that's what she does.
Which is stupid.
She responds to the one she likes, and she disses the one she don't. And apparently a fan has something to say about Cardi B's motherhood in relation to Kodak Black, which is wild, honestly. The tweet in itself is it's a wild tweet. It's kind of a stretch, but Nicki supporting it is even more wild just because they're insinuating, I guess, sexual assault. And somehow Cardi B supports that because she supports Kodak Black, who has had issues with that past. I don't know if it's like full conventions. He has a lot of, just got out of jail, and she was like, welcome back, Kodak. And that's when
they compared her supporting Kodak Black. And how can you? That he was rapist. It's 2018. It's the Me Too movement. He was accused of being a rapist.
Anyway, like I was saying, sexual assault case, and they're trying to relate that to Cardi B, and I think that's just so much a stretch. Like, that's really weird. And like I said, for Nicki to support it when she has, as someone mentioned, she's worked with Tekashi 6ix9ine, who also has he's a convicted rapist with sexual assault, and her brother. It's kind of weird to just be hypocritical and actually support a tweet like that. Especially when Cardi B said nothing more than welcome back from him being out of jail. That's not full-on support of... this is from when his charges for the gun possession and then the baby...
So much.
I don't even understand how people are figuring these things.
Why does that make
who's studying these things?
Someone shared it. into like it's
I
on
know.
a fan page or something. But it's like the fact that you put so much power in. Oh, she liked a tweet, got to go. Hey, stupid.
I mean, it's the build up, right? That's what we gotta say. It's the build up. It's the constant sneak dissing, constant sneak dissing in the records. It's the constant sneak dissing. Now, in the previous thing, Nicki wasn't talking about her kids. She was talking directly about Cardi, right? But I guess in this case, when the kids get involved, some people get really sensitive. Cardi's a new mom. She doesn't really know how to,
It's Cardi.
She's emotional.
If you watch Love and Hip Hop, she's
just herself, and I mean, she's also passionate,
and she's unapologetic for it.
And I just feel like she let the passion get the best of her.
So at New York Fashion Week, both show up to the.
It is New York Fashion Week.
Yeah, it's New York. There was multiple stories about Cardi approaching the table. See Nicki standing surrounding all her security. Acting like there's no security.
The situation was really. It looked like, I told Bree when she showed me the video, it looked like some Love and Hip Hop.
It did look like Love and Hip Hop.
It was very because you knew they had security with them. They're both in a public event. There's literally tons of rich and famous people around. Everyone has security. No one's expecting anything to pop off like that.
Nicki was surrounded, and she made sure she had a female.
I don't think she. I just think there's a female security guard
she
on her
always
team.
Had female security. Has it? They always just started working for her like this year. Knew she was about to get into some beef.
No. Now, so we're not even sure who apparently threw. Apparently, the Cardi B approach is the story. Security got involved and held her off. Cardi threw a shoe, and in the scuffle, she may have gotten elbowed in the head by one of the security guards. And that's the story that everyone's rolling. She has this little knots right here on like the temple of her head. It'll go away with some ice with it. I've just gotten a couple. Between 2-3 days, it'll be gone. But yeah, it has gotten physical, and now Cardi B shortly after that, she went on live. Like, yo, the fake stuff, the industry stuff is over. No more, because before this, when Cardi was pregnant, they took a picture. What was the other event they were at? They were dressed up. The Met Gala. They were together, and everyone was like, "Ooh, it's gonna be hot and spicy." And they took pictures and put out PR statements like, "Nah, we're good. Look, black women supporting each other." It was all fake. We could see the tension.
She posted a message basically saying
industry stuff.
This is real.
Industry fakeness that they were doing at the Met Gala.
And she listed out everything she's let Nicki get away with them.
It's a long list. So the gloves are finally off, literally.
Kim seems to be on her side. Remy seems to be on her side.
And we know this via the more tweet liking, post liking, because that's where we're at right now. You like a post.
Determines everything.
Exactly. That's your life now. So be careful what you guys like out there on fake. I mean, honestly though, like Dawgs and everything, they will look at that stuff and they will judge you on it. Honestly, I just say don't like anything that's got political hot topics. Speaking of that, we're gonna do a nice little transition. That's enough of Cardi and Nicki. I guess we can stay in the realms of hip hop. Yeah, Meek Mill and Drake are cool. That's pretty cool. Drake brought out Meek Mill.
Drake has an agenda.
Drake always has an agenda. He's the most calculated individual in this game.
Drake is Team Cardi too.
I think Drake is Team Make the Money. Like I said, he is a wave rider. He sees the wave. He saw the Migo wave, wrote it. He saw the what's his name, Fetty Wap wave. Drake is a wave rider. He sees the up and coming artists. He says, "Let me ride this wave. Let me get on it." I think Meek Mill has had a lot of getting out of jail earlier. Has definitely had a lot of positive energy behind it. Drake was sending out stuff before when Meek was in jail. Honestly, he was like, "Yo, Meek, free Meek, blah blah blah." And now I guess he's actually returning on what he, showing that he meant what he said. Because now he done made this long post. He brought him out last night. Made a long post on Instagram about how they're gonna move forward and start collaborating. The way I look at it, I don't think Drake is I think he's forming the army against Nicki Minaj. I don't know. She had a secret hater in her Queen Radio 2 weeks ago, and it was a fellow rapper, is what she said. secret hater. No one knows this person's a hater because they so much rapport. I think it's Drake. A lot of people have thought it's Drake. Now he done supported Travis Scott. He brought in the midst of the beef of Nicki Minaj and Travis Scott. He brought out Travis Scott.
It was right after the award show.
Right after she went on Cream Radio calling him the whole Negro of the Week and all this other stuff. Drake brought him out on tour because they have a song together on Travis's new album, and he rocked with them.
Like he flew from New York to Canada.
It was at Toronto. It was the big show, the one Drake probably has his most fans and stuff, and he brought Travis out. And now he's bringing Meek, who both publicly have issues with. It's and what I was literally just telling Bree is that as a wave rider, Drake definitely has to get a song with Cardi soon because Cardi's real hot right now. He's on tour with the Migos. And Cardi's married to one of the Migos. It just makes sense, right? You know, he didn't do a song with Nicki.
Love that.
Nicki, he wasn't on Nicki's album, so he needs a song with the next female rapper. I think it's about to happen. I think it's about to settle in some dust, especially, with now the beef of Cardi and Nicki now actually being public. I think it's going to fuse some stuff. But I definitely see, like, the Cardi B Drake, I don't know, it might be a song. It might be more singing than rapping, but I'll imagine it. It's going to happen. It's probably going to be pretty decent. Definitely going to get hella play on the radio. And Nicki would not be a... Kanye West apologized to Drake. Was like, speaking of Drake again, Kanye decided he wanted to get on Twitter in a rant for I don't even know how long.
He apologized but didn't apologize.
It was kind of all over.
It's like, I apologize for this, but I'm not.
Yeah, like he admitted... He keeps saying that their beef with Drake is over a beat. It's not over any revealed information. He said that. They said not any revealed information between him and Pusha T. He didn't tell Pusha T. He said he didn't tell Pusha T anything about the kid or about any of the Adidas stuff or whatever. Pusha T apparently got that stuff on his own. One thing Kanye says that he's at fault for, there's some beat that I guess he was supposed to give Drake and he didn't give it to him. And working on Infrared, which is the diss track that Pusha T. He did produce Infrared. It is a diss track that started the whole thing between Drake and Pusha T this year. And he says maybe he shouldn't have been a part of that if he knew it was dissing his homie. She's referring to Drake. And if that's the case, I do understand. But yo, for real, like you did produce it, you did know. It just builds speculation that you sure you didn't tell me Pusha T.
I'm with Drake. How else will Pusha T?
But Kanye has always claimed he's a family man. He's tight, but he did let out the stuff about Jay-Z, Beyonce to all of us publicly as well.
What was the tweet about the throne?
Bree believes that. I do not. The amount of trolling. So he did this apology rant, right? Like I want to say like Thursday. And then Friday at the Pornhub Awards, he drops a new song with Lil Pump, which is very explicit. It's funny. But it's a parody song. It's not serious at all. It's called I Love It, but it's literally talking about like porn stuff. It's like, I'm just saying, she believes the Watch the Throne 2 thing. I don't, when he's been trolling so much lately. It's a troll. It's attention seeking. Jay-Z and Kanye are not cool enough to be releasing Watch the Throne 2 right now.
Jay-Z's been on a world tour beyond like an
Exactly. They're not. So like,
I know he hasn't been.
Anyone who feeds into that, I just be like, no, they're not cool.
But you can't do a Throne 2 without.
So that's what I'm trying to say to you. Like, don't believe it. Just because Kanye tweeted it doesn't mean it's true. Like you have to believe this apology. You should have to believe all that Watch the Throne 2.
Have to believe he said it.
What?
I'm apologizing for something.
Oh yeah.
We think he did do it.
That's what I'm saying. We don't believe it because he tweeted it. We do believe that he had something to do with that baby reveal. I have no faith that Watch the Throne 2 is coming anytime. I feel like Jay-Z and Kanye will release that album when they're both retired. Like 60. Their kids will probably be on the track. Is when they will finally figure it. It didn't do well, but I mean, they're touring, they're doing multiple sellout tours all over again. Like the fans are still showing up, even though the music wasn't great on streams. Title. So I don't think Jay-Z's rushing to make Watch the Throne 2. Kanye might be rushing to make Watch the Throne 2. His 7-song album stint then.
What else?
And like I said, a lot of troll music. I like it. It's fun though. It's a fun beat. Very,
Obvious.
very. Fake Watch the Throne tweet. Long apologies. A new weird song. Lil Pump. Yeah, for hip hop.
Oh, Mac Miller.
Oh, actually, that's not that for hip hop. Big breaking news.
I was devastated.
Mac Miller recently passed away. The police called it they've declared it. I guess the autopsy's haven't come up, but they've declared an accidental drug overdose. I don't think they've said what it was. But
They said that the house was. They were like, they don't know if he or something. They don't know. Found him. They swept the house before having the police. So that's under investigation because they literally said they found like this much.
Right, which
drugs.
Wouldn't make sense.
And they said that does not make sense.
The whole thing is controversy because
so that's under investigation.
One, Mac Miller did have. He's admittedly, like publicly, had fights with depression and drug abuse. Yeah. That's public fact. Apparently, Ariana Grande and everything is spoken out. People to Ariana Grande and everyone else have spoken out about it. And I know as a fan myself, has been listening a while. He's mentioned his music, and also as I said on this Twitch stream, the last album did have a sadder undertone to it. However, I thought it was just because of his breakup. You know, everyone thought the same thing. Nothing to this extreme. It's still under investigation. We don't have any conclusive evidence to know if it was on purpose or if it was accidental. I didn't know about the house sweep thing. That sounds pretty like to have just nothing. For someone who's admitted he has a drug abuse problem, just to have a swept house, that sounds really weird to me.
His friends may have been trying.
Exactly. To give me that spin. I don't know.
I'm talking about like they probably didn't want to get in trouble for the house. They had to call the police, but we don't know. We don't know if it was done.
It's still being
before
investigated,
he died, or if it was clean after he died.
Definitely, rest in peace, and condolences to his family and everyone that he works with, and his teams. Like I said, he's a positive dude. Mac Miller, he really positive music. He's my age. He graduated 2010. Started rapping like right after.
That's so sad. It's like that's like the second one in the past month. Someone our age, high in the music.
You gotta be careful.
Everything.
It has nothing.
Fame isn't everything.
It has nothing to do with either of those things. You gotta be careful. And money really, like they said, it feeds bad habits, right? Yeah. You gotta check with your inner self. You gotta spread positivity. He was spreading positivity, but you also have to have the inner positivity in yourself, and don't rely on drugs, pharmaceutical drugs as a crutch.
Like J. Cole said, y'all the best content.
Like no, for real though. Like talk to somebody. There's other ways to, I guess, beat your various types of depression. Don't become codependent. Self-medication is not good. I don't have a problem with pharmaceuticals for health, right? High blood pressure or whatever, but self-medicating for depression and stuff like that, you got to be really careful. And I just recommend, like Cole said, talk to somebody. Talk to him. I wish I could call J. Cole. I would call him when I'm the rare times I might feel sad. Call J. Cole. The recipe, Mac Miller, condolences family. Be careful, because there. Yes, another controversy. What was last week? All right.
It's Labor Day.
Labor Day. So let's get into
it. They dropped the poster.
I think I've gotten to this bag before on here. For time. So Nike. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
So Nike, 30th anniversary.
Decided to do something big.
They're about to say they guess for their rollout. They're going to have big ads. I don't know. Does it come with clothes? Is it merchandise behind this too, or is it just ads? It's probably gonna be some merchandise. Well, gotta make their money somehow.
That's based on the athletes that are assigned to them.
But
Kaepernick will have stuff.
Yeah. To set things off for this big time, right? Them being a corporation that's been successful for the last 30 years. They decided to cap it off with an ad, a promo run with a very controversial topic. That's resulted in shoes being burnt and socks being cut up. Oh, but also positive things like Nick Cannon buying a whole store of socks, of Nike socks. So it's the results have had repercussions and advantages.
They've already done their analytics. They celebrated.
I mean, in general, let's
the
just say
negativity
something.
didn't outweigh the positivity.
Okay, people, burning the products that you've already bought hurts nobody but you.
It was only 2 people.
I'm saying in general. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying Nike product. I'm saying people who burn things that you bought. That is ridiculous.
Like
we should stop protesting that. Exactly, like LeBron jerseys. I think that's the first time that no flags, no jerseys, no shoes. Okay, burning things that you bought. That's not buying it is protesting it. Buying it just to burn it, just to get likes on social media. Guys, we gotta stop doing it. It's 2018. This stuff's old. Like Bree said, only 2 people did it, but I still heard about it. I didn't even see the videos of the shoes burning, but I actually did see one because it's like, who still does this? Those are a perfect pair of Nikes, man.
Expensive
pair. That you spent $200 for a log of fire. That's ridiculous.
As a PR person, I thought
yeah, as a person,
smart advertising.
As conspiracy theorists like myself, I thought it was very cold and calculated. But that's all corporations. That's not. Everyone's worried about the bottom line and the dollar at the end of the day. Facts.
No, they're using their stage.
True. Or backing. They're not sending a positive message. They're backing a positive message. This is a message. So the message they're backing is the Colin Kaepernick, the struggle he's had against the NFL because of his protest against police brutality in America by protesting, taking knees during the national anthem.
And it's such a big deal.
2 years ago,
because
it was
a big deal because
2 seasons ago.
Nike is the sponsor of the NFL.
One of them, yes, one of them.
A big sponsor.
It's like
a big sponsor. Sorry.
But yeah, Nike is one of the sponsors of the NFL. Like I said, this was 2 years ago when this initially happened. Colin Kaepernick, he did it the whole year. He ended up getting blackballed out of the NFL for the following year.
Let's say going through a lawsuit
currently, and like I said, the conspiracy theories. People like myself who's like, maybe Nike is actually looking like he might win this case. Yeah. At one point, it was kind of shaky.
He refused to settle.
But now it's kind of he's doing a collusion case, pretty much saying the NFL colluded together to get him out, and it's looking pretty good in court as the public saw it. How do you just go from having a job, being a top tier quarterback for the last couple of years? He's been to a Super Bowl. He don't have a ring, but he's been there. To now you're just gone, bro, because he had something he wanted to stand up for, and the slogan that Nike's choosing is stand for something, even if you have to sacrifice everything. So it rainbow. It makes sense. Like I said, Kaepernick's been doing this for a while. Like I said, the whole last year he was fired and he had no job, and he just literally been doing like freelance stuff, talking to people. I think he released merchandise, books and such. And this year Nike said, we're gonna support this guy. Started with a big poster board campaign with him and his nice afro on it, and then it started they dropped the commercial. I think they dropped it during one of their games too. During the NFL started back Thursday. It started back on Thursday, and I think they dropped the commercial.
Philly game, which we're not going to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, we don't. Me and Bree, we don't watch either team. We don't really watch.
Speaking
of
Kaepernick, Falcons can use a quarterback. Just say.
I think he's in a tight spot right now. Good. Make this money from the NFL. He probably never. I mean, I don't know. He is a quarterback. He probably did have a passion for the game. So maybe he does miss it, but at the same time, I'll be like, yo, taking them hits versus making these checks, not taking them hits. I don't know. Man, we're not going to watch it. So,
I watched it during playoffs
this year, but yeah, they did release a commercial during that. It's a pretty cool commercial, honestly. It's like, if you look at it, it's like over. I wish we could probably play it on maybe playback of it. Like it's like or parts of it, but it's like people overcoming types of adversity, and it starts with like normal people and athletes doing it. Like I said, there's a handicapped a handicapped wrestler who's wrestling a normal kid, and he's beating them. There's stuff like that. It's Serena playing in that bodysuit that she had the controversy this year for
a bunch of stories
basically
stuff. Telling you.
And it ends with Kaepernick walking down the street. Pretty cool commercial, honestly. I didn't even know it was the Nike commercial when I first saw it. It just looked like something really cool and inspiring until Kaepernick walks out and he's like, okay, I know what this is. But yeah, like I said, the conspiracy theories and all of us, we were like, oh, Nike Corporation. Even Trevor Noah, we saw the thing. He's like, they are a corporation. Maybe, oh, you haven't? Yeah, he was. Yeah, I always think corporations, they have a room full of marketing people who literally cold cut analyze this stuff, which is maybe why they timed it the way they did. I was like, he's been an athlete under them, I think, since he signed to the NFL, Kaepernick, and they could have backed him last year, but 30th anniversary is a big deal. It's a big thing. That's what I say. You're right. They might have started planning it right when it happened, but even then, it's like if. About it? I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff you got. Hey, you got to understand how corporate works. I've worked in corporate. It says this conspiracist in me. That's it. Nothing more. The business person in me understands business.
Anyway.
But it was cool. Shout out to Nike. Shout out to Kaepernick. Everyone's getting the checks. Nike checks everywhere.
Everyone's happy.
Don't burn your shoes.
That's all that matters.
Don't burn anything.
What else?
Arson is bad.
Last but not least, speaking of football.
Go Dawgs. We are 2-0 and we've scored 40 or more points
in both games.
Twice. Yeah. We're looking, apparently our offensive line is on beast mode. Kirby, Smart.
It's smart.
Who didn't know? First year. What's that? This is his third year with us? Yeah, Easton. Last year.
Oh.
Nick Easton was our first quarterback with Kirby Smart.
Wait, all season?
Yes. Remember, he wasn't supposed to come. Don't look it up because I'm going to make you look silly. He wasn't supposed to come initially because Mark Richt transferred, remember? But he ended up staying because Kirby Smart convinced him. This Kirby Smart is now third year. The first year, we did decent. Second year, the first year we did decent with Easton. Second year, we went to the national championship with Kirby Smart because this man is amazing. Now this third year, I think we're taking the national championship. Our season, like I said before, our season looks pretty. Okay. I know what I'm talking about.
I probably didn't watch much in 2006.
No, we watched it. It just wasn't. It was an average. We didn't go to the national championship. We didn't win the SEC championship. We did Jacob Easton. With Jacob Easton, we did okay. I think we had a winning season.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. How do you
because all of the juniors decided to come back for their senior year because they didn't like how the year ended, and they lost to Georgia Tech. I remember.
The first year was okay, but the second year, Kirby Smart came back with a vengeance. Took us to the national championship for the first time in decades. We lost, but this year, we're taking it. So like I said, 2 games. Our first 2 games, our season's kind of eh.
He has to play both the quarterbacks, though. Alabama.
It's just what they showed last year with the whole the quarterbacks in the cut thing. We need to have a quarterback in the cut, too. Jacob, this is the thing. Jake Fromm was our quarterback in the cut last year because he wasn't supposed to play. It was supposed to be Easton again, but he got injured. Let's not forget the storyline.
Try putting in Easton. Did Easton play in that? No.
Huh?
It was other games.
But it didn't matter. By the time Easton got recovered enough, his confidence, you could tell, was already gone because Fromm was supposed to fall, and this man was he just started for a true freshman.
Tough season.
He just went in, and Easton eventually ended up leaving us.
Yeah.
So you could tell, the animosity built from after that first game, and that man won that first game, never touching the ball. He supported it
up to the end, but I think especially with Justin.
It was gonna be 3 deep. See what happens to quarterbacks that go 3 deep. I didn't know that guy like that. But everybody knows that you did who I'm talking about.
Anyways.
Anyways, anyway. Yeah, it's gonna be a good season. I wish we were playing better games, but like I think we should go undefeated. I think we should take the SEC championship. I think we should take the national championship. It's projecting really far into the season. However, long as you have young dudes, we don't have like old seniors we gotta rely on anymore, it seems. The younger guys are taking over. Got new linemen. Kirby's a defensive coordinator, so I feel like defense, we didn't get to analyze as much as we used to do, but defense is going to be handled because Kirby's smart. He's a defensive man. It's going to be good.
Good.
Dogs indeed. That's it. That's all we wanted to update you guys with. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below on our YouTube channel, Facebook page.
It's not as crazy.
Yeah. Some people said it was a slow news week. I wanted to talk about the Joe Budden thing, too. Joe Budden responded to Eminem's diss. What's up?
Okay.
He didn't respond with a diss.
Bye.
He just responded on his podcast.
Bye.